And just like that, we're starting out, guys. What's going on? Happy Thursday evening. It is 7:39 p.m. here on the East Coast. Hello, hello to everyone out there. Thanks for tuning in tonight. So let's recap where we left off on day 10. So we learned about signals yesterday, which is pretty important. Let's turn this off over here. I was messing around with some Sprite graphics on this bad boy right here, and I imported them. Kind of cool. I imported them actually as a graphic that I'll probably have in this game, a sand leech. So I made it from there. I made it into a sheet, a sprite sheet, imported that into Godot. Let me make sure that this is off here. Check. And I put it on my main screen just to see what it would look like. It's kind of neat. So you can see this in the background of that's standing there. I don't have it actually playing, so I'll hit play now, and then you go to here. You'll actually see it right there. Isn't that pretty cool? That's pretty damn cool. But anyway, what we learned about is signals. And we learned about, because this is the main screen or scene right here. And then from this scene, I wanted to actually pass information to other functions and other scripts not associated with this scene or isn't aware of this scene. And I wanted them to, the combat script to do its own thing. I wanted this combat script to send messages to a global message broker. And this message broker would handle all things related to sending messages back to the player, whether it's updating the actions window here or sending any storyline. It's going to be pretty heavily used. So that's kind of what I wanted to script out. And I couldn't figure out how to do that. I couldn't figure out how to update this node over here if the script that I'm sending it to didn't know about it. So we use signals. And you can see here on the script side, up at the top here in the ready section of the main script, we have some signals that are defined. Let me find the on ready. If I can find it. Oh, I'm in the wrong script. Here we go. So on ready script right here. We got these signals that are connected to functions, if you will. So the signals are in yellow. This is Godot 4 beta 10, by the way. So if you're watching from Godot 3, it's a little bit different, the syntax. So basically saying, all right, this is going to send out these signals when certain events happen. And if I get a signal of a message handler, when the return comes back, if it goes out to, they call it an observer, I'm going to call it like a listener that's listening for this type of signal or broadcast message that goes out. Say, oh, message handler, I know it. I have instructions to do something with that. It's going to do whatever it needs to do, and then it's going to send that back, the signal back through an emit. And then when it comes back, this connection here is basically going to say, okay, I got something back. Let's send now whatever you sent back to me to this function, update action text, which is down here. And then that basically just updates that panel over there. I can actually get rid of this debug statement now. Same thing with all these, whether it's a health bar change. So anything that I'm doing with like the UI or any type of message, I'm now sending off to this message handler. And this message handler is basically pretty simple. It's looking for certain messages, signals that come in. And when it does, it's going to be carrying these types of functions. These types of parameters. Like the message is just a string that it expects. And then this can actually be called from other scripts. So in my combat script, now you can see these message handlers where now this is emitting back to the message handler saying, okay, I want you to send this out. I want you to send this out. I want you to send this out. And it interprets that. And then the main body of the script connects to that signal, gets any returns back, and then does whatever instructions that it's told to do as well. So that's pretty cool. So we got that working. Very cool. What else? We also I put in the shadow this morning. I didn't like how the text looks. I'm constantly looking at this main page here, kind of see if I can revive it. I mean, not revive it, make it a little bit more lively than flat looking. So you can see just the silhouette that I put behind here. Found a picture online, modified it in Sprite, removed some of the opacity, cleaned up some of the lines, trimmed off some of the body type. structure, but you can see I think that's a little bit cooler to look at than just the labels that said head, chest, something like that. So that was kind of cool. Doesn't go all the way to the bottom because this is the feet, obviously. These are the legs. This is the glove area, chest, and head. So that's kind of neat. I did that. What else did I do? Obviously, this image here, which won't stay there, but I thought that was kind of cool. I wanted to make sure that if I do put animated graphics in here for the monster cards, that I could do that. So what I want to do now is I kind of want to take a step back and just think about the things that I still need to code. I need to get a little bit more organized into what I need to do on certain parts. I know I have the visuals like here to show me different parts of it, but I need to do that for pretty much the rest of the game to make sure that I can get through what I want to get through and not keep adding, oh, it'd be cool to add this. Oh, it'd be cool to add this. That's okay. But there's a point in time where you need to still get through the basics before you start, adding things. Otherwise, you'll never get done. So I thought maybe I'm going to use some of this time to, take a look at the flow, go screen by screen what I have so far, think about what I need to add, document it in pretty good detail, and then I can go back to it and say, okay, check, I did this, check, I did this. And I can jump around on that list, so I'm not always focused on one thing, but at least I'm working in a little bit more organized fashion than just going day to day and saying, okay, today I want to kind of do this or that. I need to get that pretty much nailed down. So I think the easiest way is just probably like OneNote or something. Let's bring up OneNote. And I'm going to do another section over here. Turn that off. Add section. We'll call it Godot. Go 4. And then over here, we will call this Crest of the Moon. And I think I can have child pages under this, I think. Or do I actually have to do, maybe I'll just do the sections over here that we want. Actually, I could have put it over here. I wonder if can I drag this under here? No. I think I can make a smaller section. Let me move this over here. I'm not sure if this is the best place to put it or not, but let's move it over here. Maybe underneath here I can do, can I do another section if I click on that? Okay, no. I want a subsection like I do on these. I just back that out. Boom, 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 boom. So how do I make a sub insert? Forgot how to do this. Add page? No, that's over there. Rename, copy, insert, copy, pin, copy, rename section. Add section. Rest of the moon. Can I just drag that like that? No? Well, maybe we won't use this. I thought it would be kind of simple, but. Oh, is this, do I change this? Is that what I need to change? No. What the? Let's expand this a little bit. Yeah, how do I make it so it's that? Not that. I just want to make a subsection here. Or almost like a category. I have to go up here. Go over here. Oh, new section group. Okay. Why wouldn't it have it right there instead of, we'll call it Crest of the Moon. Now we can delete this. Delete. Actually, we'll move this into here. And these will just be resource links. Here's the main page. So let's rename this. Can I rename this? Rename project. We'll call it to-dos. To-dos. And then here is where we'll start putting down the other sections. Okay. New page. So we're going to need combat. So I'm just going to go through the basic fundamentals of everything that we need. So we're going to need a combat page. We're going to need a monsters. We're going to need equipment. Player. And we're going to need storyline. Put this at the bottom. Go back to our Xmind. What are the major functions? Let's see. Combat is a major system we're going to need. Player, we're going to have stuff related to the player. Monsters, equipment. I'll put something for graphics. Am I going to need graphics? I'll put something for UI. Yo, Log4j, what's up, man? What's up? What's up? Going back to the basics and writing everything down here. So if I think about this game, just bring this over here for a second. Bring this up over there. So if I think about this game, if I go back to the beginning, what I need, so we have combat, we have the storyline, we have a monster section, equipment, player will be character. All right, so let's start filling some of this out. So combat, the major sections in combat, let's go like this. We need to have, I wonder if I can do like, oh, to do, okay. Right there, perfect. I wonder if I could, all right, so let's do attack function. So I'm just gonna do attack function. Some of the stuff we already did, but I want to kind of map everything out here. Attack function, heal function. We need a flee function. We need a defend function. I'm chilling, just working on some labs. How about you? Not much, man. Just figured I'd log on for a little bit, do a little bit of this logistical stuff, get it mapped out. Besides visually, I want to map it out so I'm not just every time I come on stream, I'm not just, you know, going here and there. I kind of want to have some method to my madness and make sure I'm covering all my steps. What kind of labs you doing? Some sec labs? All right, so heck yeah, process map. Yeah. I have it visually, but it's like now I need to translate the visual to here and then put down in detail what each of these things is going to be. Offensive security, nice. Are you taking it from offensive security themselves? Like going for the what is it? OCSP or OSCP? OSCP, I think it is. Offensive Security Certified Professional or something. I have that on my radar too. There's another company out there too. It's just hitting my Twitter that offers at a hell of a lot cheaper rates. Supposedly they're accredited. I don't think they're as well known as Offensive Security, but what was the name of that? But I was thinking of taking some of their courses too. It starts with a T. I forget what the hell that. I like a lot of stuff. So how do I know, like, from my profile? Okay, here we go. Likes. That company is, and I like a lot of stuff. Oh, oh, oh. I like stuff so I can go back and reference it after, but I like, yeah, TCM security. Disrupting the education and hacking industry. Come learn to hack at TCM Security Academy, veteran owned, quality results. I guess a lot of people are going for that as well. It is directly through Offensive Security, but it's the $19 a month package access to Playground. Oh, that's cool. So is your goal eventually to take one of the bigger certifications or just general knowledge? I heard one of the, for the TCM one, it's actually a 24-hour exam, real time. You schedule your own, they give you what needs to be done from a scenario perspective. You schedule your own time on however long you need to do, and that includes your sleep and everything else that you have to include. You have a certain window of time, 24 hours. You schedule it the way you want to. You go through it, and if you complete certain things, and then at the end, you do actually, like if you were providing pen testing services, you actually have to provide a presentation to the folks from the company, and they rate you as well as that. So you're not only just getting the hands-on experience, technical stuff, but you're also giving that presentation information too, which I thought was kind of unique in that aspect. So you have to create the reports, you have to make sure they're useful, deliver them to the appropriate audience, and give the presentation to the people live on camera. So I thought that was kind of cool. A little different than some of the other pen testing where you just nose down, you don't get to see anyone, you're in a dark dungeon, you're digging through, see how far you can get and capturing the flags or breadcrumbs or whatever you want to call them. And then you complete it and you get the results. This is a little bit more realistic in the faction of dealing on the people side of it. All right, so is that it for combat? So attack. All right, attack function, defend. I'm going to do it as a high level, then I'm going to dig down deep. Is that all I need for attack? Combat. Actually, death function. And then over here, is that a part of... I'm going to make this separate for loot. Loot and experience. All right, so I think those are the major functions of combat. If we go storyline, right, complete storyline, break out into sections. Think about delivery to player on screen. Because that's something too. I don't want to flood the player with a bunch of text. Right. I want to kind of give it to them in pieces and keep it entertaining and fun, not heavy super combat, awesome stuff going on, and then back to I got to read a page and a half of stuff. I want to kind of limit what's there and still get through a storyline or a plot. Potentially in the future, I would want the search through them. I'm just poking around to get me equipped knowledge-wise. I don't think I can take the exam anytime soon, but with my education, my MBA program sucks the lifeblood out of me. Plus, I didn't go to college for computer science or anything related to technology. I am unsure if that will hinder me. I don't think so. I mean, I never went to college. I have some college experience through online, through nothing to do with computer science or cybersecurity. I do have my CISSP. I got that back in 2005, and I think that projected my career immensely. But other than that, I have, BA from Capella University in psychology, positive psychology and organizational leadership. Pursuing, I don't actually have the, I think I'm like 20 credits out or something, so I don't have the full BA, but yeah, I didn't want to take anything related to technology. Like the technology comes and goes, so it's kind of hard with cert degrees. Let's say you're learning like a degree in Cisco firewalls, ASA, or something like that. Uh, they could be deprecated in a couple of years, and then where's your cert? It's trash. So more like I wanted to get people aren't going to be replaced anytime soon anyway. So you're always going to be dealing with people. So psychology was a better route for me to thinking that way, where the soft skills are more important than the technology skills. All right. So that's the storyline, right? Storyline. I got the combat. So the player, we're going to need to player levels. So that's kind of with the experience, but let's do something related to the player. Do I have these over here? All right. I don't kind of don't want these if I have the checks. Oh, I need to do a data saving too. Data management, we'll call it. Yo, Jimmy, what's going on, man? What's happening? What's happening? Hope you're doing well. Loading the game, saving the game. Fair soft skills are key. My old boss at a software company had a psychology degree, and his story was crazy how he ended up with tech. Yeah, I think if you can do, I mean, a lot of the skills that you learn, I guess, in general college, I kind of just preps you in some way for the real world. But until you actually get out there and work with people, I mean, I don't think you can be prepared by a book or by a curriculum or something like that from school. I think college is just there to get you used to a system of knowing responsibility and being accountable and being able to manage your schedule, and because it's completely different. I remember when I first got out of school, high school, I tried to go right to college, and it's a whole different experience. So in high school, the teachers are on your ass, like, "Oh, right, you're not here, you're not there. Where were you? You got to provide permission slips. What's going on?" They take attendance, and you go walk into a college campus, they don't care. I don't want to say they don't care, but if you're not there, that's on you. All right. They're not going to be calling home and saying, "Hey, Ray, why come you didn't show up today?" and stuff. That's on you. It's a whole different experience. When you walk into a college campus and you're standing in that hallway, there ain't there ain't teachers in the hallway chaperoning you to your class or bells ringing and stuff to, that's on you. That's kind of like the difference. But I still don't think they prepare you. I don't know why I have something broken on my desk, but I don't know why I was fidgeting with it. I was trying to fix it because I was setting my cell phone on it, but I guess I broke it. All right. But if I were to say some fundamental skills that everyone should learn, I don't care what profession you're in, reading and writing, because I think with those skills you can teach yourself anything. If you can read, you can read pretty much anything and teach yourself that. Writing, because writing and speech I think are super important, because if you can't communicate, you can be the most technical 700 degrees, triple PhDs. If you can't sit in that room with the business people and explain to them what's happening in a non technical, plain business language world so they understand it, you're shit. you're, you're so limited in where you're going to go. I'm doing good, man. I hope you're well. Let me know when your game is in alpha beta. Absolutely, man. I'll put you on the list. I'll put you on the list. I got it right behind me here. Have you seen it yet? Not sure if you've seen the game. It's still pretty much in the works. I'm kind of taking a step back from it to write some things to make sure that I complete in the game as like a first pass. But the game's pretty cool so far. I'm liking how it is. I'm very impressed with what I was able to pick up so far. This is day 11, so I kind of got a pretty good handle on how to manage the UI. I think the UI to me now is easy. I haven't worked with every single node or widget that's in here, like a component, but work with buttons, with panels, horizontal, vertical boxes, how to shrink them. You can see here the sprites. I worked with 2D sprite graphics, animation, I actually picked up quite a bit. Picked up quite a bit. I learned signals last night, which is a huge leap. Nobody tests schemes anymore. Psh, what? Yeah, what's up, Platty? How you doing, man? How you doing, good sir? College, a black box. What goes on inside that black box? We don't know, but it leads to something. Hopefully, I think the big thing, man, we're in the age of structured data on the internet like it's never been before, right? Anyone I know, there's a couple of people now popping in the channel that are technology focused as well. Anything you can think of, you can pretty much type from the convenience of your couch or your home on your mobile phone, even anywhere you want, and you can get information at your fingertips, right? Where before it wasn't that accessible. You had to go to a professor, you had to go to a library, you had to check out books, you had to take this and that, right? Now you can pretty much go anywhere. The problem is now you need to have enough intelligence and common sense to decipher the truth about data because there's just as much good data out there as there's bad data out there. So let's say you're researching, perfect example about Godot, right? So I'm trying to learn this programming language and I'm using the latest engine that's currently in beta. It's beta 4. So there's not a lot of detail out there. And because they're moving so fast, coming out with new versions of beta until they're finally getting to the release, the information is so volatile because what I learned yesterday could be changed today in the latest version, and that's proven to be truthful because when they release the beta from, like, they just released beta 15. If you follow me on social media, I posted that out, and beta 15 broke something from beta 14, right? So it's hard. So when you go out there and say, okay, I'm trying to find something on signals, you do YouTube searches, and you kind of have to have enough sense. Well, I'm not going to look at a video from 5 years ago if they just released the content like a month ago, right? So you kind of have to say, well, what this video is talking about conceptually might be right, but the syntax and how to do it is going to be different. So you kind of have to sift through what's out there, what's not. React was the same way in the earlier stages, was a struggle to learn while it was a moving target at 100 miles per hour. Yeah, I think that's the case with a lot of technology. Again, concepts you can learn anywhere. Like, how does a firewall work? Well, that's pretty basic. How do I, like, program? Well, what is object oriented programming? And, that's the concept's been out there for years. So the concept hasn't changed. The languages have changed. How the languages implement OOP or object oriented programming is different, but you can learn conceptually what it is. And I think going back to, Log4j on the kick side, I think college professors teach most of the time on a strict basis of what's in the curriculum. And sometimes it's not always up to date with what's trending or what's current date. Like, I remember going to college and they were still teaching like Visual Basic, like the earlier stages of Visual Basic for the first computer intro to computer programming. Completely irrelevant at that point. But again, conceptually, it's teaching you how to think methodically, how to, a Boolean is always going to be a Boolean, true or false is always going to be true or false. Those types of things. A string is going to be a string. So you could grasp that, but you need to understand that what you're learning is at a point in time where things move so fast today, it could be obsolete. So you're kind of just taking conceptual concepts, applying it to where you are in your life, and then never stop learning. So that's what I would say. I think the bad thing about college is the expense. Phew. I know some countries I think have free education or something like that, but man, in the United States, I'm a strong advocate that we should be able to teach people for free over here, and pay the teachers another way or something like that, right? But yeah, the expense of it is fucking expensive. Even books. I'm like, how the hell can I pay like thousands of dollars for a book? The book's dated like 5 years ago, right? Uh, yeah, I don't understand that. And then that kind of sets you stressfully in life to say, okay, I got a degree, and a degree doesn't necessarily mean you can do the job. So I got a piece of paper that said I stuck to a certain curriculum, and I did it for X amount of time, and I passed a certain bar that was required. That's it. But I'm starting on my career with zero experience. Where over here, this gal didn't go to school, but has 20 years hands on experience, might have some certifications, but no degree. They're going to be more valuable, uh, probably enter in the door than the person with the degree, and also probably make more money than the person with the degree. And also, the person with the degree is probably $150,000 in debt, where this person might not have any debt. As an example, it could be the opposite. I've seen people get hired before with degrees. It depends on the company, but I think the world evolved a lot where they want people that can do the job, and they want people with personal skills more so than someone that can relay the OSI model, or what's the layer 7 application firewall doing, or that's irrelevant if you can't communicate, I think. Man, have you seen the AI that writes code and that works? Chat GPT, it can write a story. Yeah, I actually have it bookmarked over here. I test it out every now and then. It is very accurate. It was told through reading. I'm not sure if it's accurate, but the current data that it's aware of goes to 2021. Yeah, right here. Limited knowledge of the world and events after 2021. But it just shows you from the knowledge perspective. Imagine if a machine, I forgot which movie it was, but imagine if a machine, was it The Matrix, where they went through all the memories in like seconds? So imagine if a machine could take the human brain, and I'm just speaking, theoretical. Imagine if the machine can take the human brain like a professor, let's say Einstein, and consume all of its knowledge in milliseconds, and then be able to use that intelligence to further science in X field or something, right? That's amazing when you think about it. Yo, what's going on, Gabe Game Dev? What's up? FP Fix. Completely fair. I agree. Even though I'm a college student, no, there's nothing wrong with college. I think most of the people that I know have been to some form of college. They might not have been through 4-year degree or a master's or a PhD, but they've been through some form of education. I think education is important. You just got to make sure that it's not everything, because if you're always involved in education, if you're not a teacher, that is, then you're not getting any hands-on experience really, unless you're trade schools. I mean, there's always exceptions to everything, but currently, I even though I'm a college student, I'm experiencing what you are speaking. Currently, I'm trying to find employment. They want more experience, less education. Yeah, it really depends on the field. There's still a lot of companies out there that are traditionalists, I'm going to call them, that look for that degree, and then they'll review qualifications. But I've dealt with both sides of that and passed over for morons that had the paper, and I have never been to college yet that could circles around the other applicants. Yeah, I would always be like, I don't have a college degree. I've been to college online, virtually. I just still don't have a standing degree, but I have a certification that's world renowned, gold certification. It's the most sought after security certification in the world, the CISSP. So that kind of is like my papers, yeah, if you will, to credibility on what I know and what I don't know. But I still think soft skills is a way to go. Then add on top of that. That's cool. Cool discussions. This is only my opinion. I'm just a bald guy in the struggle. That's it. I've been both sides. So a player, we're going to need to know. Let's see. What are we going to need from a player model? We're going to be able to levels. Well, actually, I got levels down there, but let's go to. All right. So I have combat. I have that player. Monsters. I'm going to have a monster table, but is that dictionary? We'll put that separate. Very good discussion. Appreciate you entertaining it. Absolutely. Again, this is just my perspective, and I think it's also important too. Where if you get up in the morning, and this goes for anyone, with a job or whether you have a higher education or not, if you get up and you dread going to work, you got to make changes. Right? Life's too short to not like what you're doing. right? So don't chase the money, chase what brings you happiness and fulfills you as a person, as an individual. Because if you chase money, I mean, everyone needs it, but if it's the primary focus in your life, you'll never be happy. You'll never be satisfied. How's the loot and crafting system planned for the game? Yeah, so the loot was going to be dropped from monsters. So let's talk about that. So now that you bring it up, we'll have this discussion over here. So the loot will be randomized by monster type. And what I mean by this is, and I already have some of this set up. So what I mean by this is, if I come over here and I pull up the script for monsters, it's still rudimentary again, just keeping it basic. You'll see that I have like a zombie, a rat. This is a dictionary. So I have all these keys here that represent the name of the monster. So I have a zombie, a rat, a skeleton, blah, blah, blah. And then down here I have a loot table, and I have 3 types of monsters so far: an animal, a monster, or humanoid. I actually have a note to add special. So a special would be like a lich or something higher end that I'll be adding in. But the way that I planned it right now in my head so far is here's a monster, here's a zombie, and everything about the zombie is in here. So I can pull those values when I need to pull them. So here's a description. Again, placeholder, zombie, armor class. It's armor class rating. It's base damage. And this is where it gets into loot type. So loot type here is a monster loot type, and then experience if you kill it. So down here, if we take, for example, a rat, the loot type is an animal. And notice down here, if I look at animal, you're going to get relative loot based upon what an animal could have, right? An animal is not going to drop a 2-handed sword, right? At least not in my game. But a humanoid might. They might be able to drop a small pouch or a weapon, a broken weapon, or whatever. Humanoid might drop some gold or something like that. So the loot table is going to be matched to the encounter type that I'll build out over time. So randomized by monster type, appropriate loot by monster type. 4 types of loot. That will be, I'm going to put these down here. This is how I want to get down to the detail. Animal, monster, humanoid, special. How do I go back? Like this? Okay. And I want so randomized by monster type. Randomized drops, drop chance. Because you might not always get loot, which is going to be cool. Randomized drop chance, randomized by monster type, appropriate loot by monster type. There's the types of the monsters. Toxic, what's up? I think I already said what's going on here, but what's up? Welcome. Good morning to you. I know it's late. By the way, I cut my head shaving. I don't know if you can see my Band-Aid, but man, if you ever shave your head or nick your ear or something on your face, it bleeds forever. Especially like here, if you're shaving your mustache, you nick your, what is it, septum or something right there. Just bleeds forever. Still waking up? Yeah. Nice. All right, what else for loot? All right, this is loot and experience. So experience range by monster. Static at first. That would be kind of cool to know that, let's say, if you kill a zombie, it could be a range of, not always a static number. Maybe static at first just to get through the basic part of it. Should I put this out separate? I'm going to actually break this out separate. I don't know why I put loot and experience together. Experience. All right. So before we do experience, we're going to have levels. Maybe 1 to 20 to start. 20 levels to start with. And I'll do like I did in my on my Python side. I mapped out levels, pretty much following almost like the D&D type levels, where level would be start out at level 1, no experience. If you get to, let's say as an example, 900 experience, I would have a check every time you killed something and you gain the experience. Have you met the next level requirement? If you did, it would bump your level up and give you another announcement or something like that. Give you maybe more hit points or something like that. That's another thing too. Upon level gain, random hit point, random stats. Stat, what do they call that? Stat bonus or stat addition, or upon level gain, random bump to HP, MP, stam. Okay. Levels 1 to 20 to start. Upon level gain, random bump to HP. All right. I can break that out though. HP. So this is all separate. Might be separate code. I can probably combine all of that actually, but pass in the stat. It's all going to happen at the same time. So experience range by monster. Check next level experience requirement at XP gain. Back to loot. I think the loot is done. I'm not going to do any type of encumbrance. No weight, to begin with. So I need to figure out. I remember before if you ever played a game, if you ever played Ultima Online, let me know in chat. But Ultima Online had a bag, and in the bag you could put. There was no slots. It was just an open bag, and everything went in that bag. And you can move the stuff around. Stuff could overlap in the bag. It can get messy or whatever. That's kind of what I want to do with this. So you can drag a sword from here to there in the bag. It doesn't have to be. You don't need to have certain spaces. I know if you ever played like Tarkov or something like that, where you have certain slots that can fit. This takes 4 slots, and you have to fit a dagger that takes 2 slots. This is just going to be an open bag format that will be in there. I should probably put that in. Loot. Open bag format. No, not by slot or weight. Think Ultima Online. Yo, Jimmy. Yeah, I'm loving it, dude. I'm over there now as well. I think I have 59 people. If you watched, I'm not sure who you follow on social media, but I did retweet about an announcement from Kick, Trainwreck, who's one of the people that are, running some of the things behind Kick in regards to where it's going to be going directionally. He mentioned some good things about the creative program. Creative program is going to be, and again, this is all based on his stuff. I haven't seen anything yet. It's not coming yet. It's not available yet, but creative program is going to allow people to be paid based upon how many hours you stream, with algorithms tied to how many views you have, interactivity. There'll be ads in there too. So if you do run ads like in Twitch, you'll get paid revenue on that. Currently not deployed yet, but coming soon is the subs are going to be a 95-5 split. So you'll keep 95% of whatever the sub price is going to be. If it's equivalent to Twitch or some of the other ones out there are kind of unique. They take 5%. They get a percentage of your ad revenue if you run ads. But that's going to be open to everyone. So initially, they're going to roll it out to make sure it's tested properly. They want to make sure that people can't exploit the system of just view botting and getting those extra views. So they're going to kind of put some intelligence around it. It might be a little bit difficult, but I'm glad that they're trying to put into some type of trust system to detect things like that. I think they run into that all the time with on the Twitch side too. There's a lot of cool things that they have planning on working. People say they give the platform a bad rap because there's gambling related. The One of the higher ups is one of the owners of Stake, and they're doing some of the funding. I don't really care. I don't gamble. I'm not forced to gamble on the platform. When gambling was on Twitch, I didn't gamble. Uh, you do what you want to do with the platform, so I'm not forced content or creative way to go a certain direction. I can still have the freedom to do and provide the content I want, and it doesn't cost me anything. So why wouldn't I try it? So that's the reason why I'm over there. But I got about 59 viewers, 59 follows so far. Been over here for a little while. I like what I'm seeing. I watch people just like I watch Twitch religiously every day. Certain people when they stream, I watch their content. It's pretty good. It's low latency, almost. Uh, I don't want to say always compare it to Twitch, but most people know about Twitch. So low latency in chat. So it's pretty much. I don't want to say near real time, but you can have a conversation pretty quickly over there. What else? It came a long way in regards to some of the names. When it first started, obviously, new platform, there was nothing in place. So people were streaming porn, people were streaming rated X shit. The names on the platform were horrendous. There was spam all over the place. It was like the Wild West on the early parts. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. But they backed into all that stuff now. Again, new platform. I would have waited to at least get that functional moderation stuff in, but they turned that stuff around pretty quickly. So they monitor that stuff now. They have protection in place for the streamer. They have mods and capabilities like that on the background. They are scanning names. The content is pretty well maintained. They still have the hot tub streams, like every other platform has hot tub streams. So again, that's not for me, like gambling. So I don't care. If people are a hot tub streamer, they're a hot tub streamer. More power to them. They do have a lot of gambling sites. I'm starting to see some music sites come in, like over on other platforms, which is kind of cool. If you can listen to 24-hour music, that's kind of cool. What else? The back dashboard is, pretty basic. So here's the back scene of it. I'll show you guys live. So here's the back scene where you can modify your information. They just added the host feature. It's kind of cool. So now, like other platforms, you can click host, enter the name, and then within a few seconds, all of your viewers will be your stream will shut down, and all of the viewers will go to the next stream. They won't need to refresh the page or anything. They just go to the next stream. They have stuff over here we can do like moderators, which is kind of cool. So you can have certain moderators you add so they can manage some of the stuff. They have badges, which are kind of neat. So you can assign a VIP badge, and they just updated the graphics on this too. So VIP, if someone's been with you for a long time, they come over there, you can give them a VIP badge or an OG badge, or both of them, or a moderator, a VIP, and an OG badge. But these are limited. You only can give like so many, like 25 and 50, or one of the two. Emotes are kind of cool. You start out with 60 emotes, completely unlocked. They just bumped this up too. Used to be 150 by 150. It's 500 by 500, which is kind of neat. You can tell whether it's follower only or image. You just drag it in, you name it, and you're off. The settings behind the scenes, pretty much, pretty basic stuff. You add your social media down at the bottom, your bio, you plug in your detail. Yeah, there's 50 users. You have your hot links for whatever social media you want to add. You have the stream content. You have, the security stuff, the stream content, two-factor, which is I love. I always do that right away. Notifications, you can control, if you want to have a pop-up over here when someone you follow goes live, you can have it go to your email and stuff like that. But it's pretty basic behind the scenes. And that's that. Drink this down. Yeah, but if you guys got to want to follow me over there, I always say I'm Profits TV on every platform you can think of. on every platform. I might not stream, but I do follow and support people on every platform. So I am on currently Twitch, of course. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Kick. I'm on D Live. I'm on Trovo. I'm on Glimish. What other crazy shit's out there? I think. Oh, Theta TV. I mean, I bet you probably know. None of you guys have heard of that, but I'm out there. I follow another developer out there, that's his main channel. So because I like his content and him, I follow him wherever he's at. So I'm over there. And I think that's it. Some of the older ones are out, of course. Mixer, which was prior Beam, that's gone. Hitbox, which got transferred to Smashcast, and now I don't know what it is gone. But yeah, at Profits TV, anywhere you can find me, that's where I'm at. Cool. All right. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions about it. If you do, if anyone is streaming that's watching me now on that platform on Kick, let me know, and I'll definitely give you a follow here. Or even on Twitch. You're in my Twitch stream, so if anyone in my channel right now is a Twitch streamer, let me know. All right. Let's knock this out, man. Let's lock this out, man. UI. Resource we'll put at the bottom. Experience, we'll keep that for now. Loot, we got a pretty good stuff for loot. For data management, loading the game, saving the game. Loading dictionary files for monsters, or we'll say playable objects. Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate that, dude. I think your follower 60, I believe. I can't see my stats unless I watch my own thing over there, but I think your follower number 60. Hell yeah. Yep, follower 60. Cool. So loading dictionary files for objects in game. So this is going to be like for equipment, player, encounter, storyline, ... This is going to be a big thing that way. Right now I'm doing static values just to test basic functionality like combat. But eventually I want to get to using these values as well. So that's cool. All right, new game, loading the game, saving the game. This would be selecting a saved file and location. This would be selecting a file name and location. When you start a new game, I don't think normal games. I'm trying to think of a game that you would play when you start a new game. I guess some of them do. Right? I think when I played Dead Space, it did that. So when you start a new game, you go through your character creation, blah, blah, blah. No, I think you come to a certain point in the game where it asks you to save the game. It doesn't save it automatically. But some games, too, right from the beginning, prompt you after you do character creation. All right, what do you want to save it? You have 4 slots, and you pick the slot. Prompt to save after character creation. Pick one of 4 slots. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's how some of them work. All right, so data management, equipment. Gonna be dictionary table. So equipment's going to be some equipment by class. I want quality, so you'll have quality. Let's see, randomize Randomize equipment by the following. I've done this too on my Python side, which is cool. So I want the quality, name of the item, quality, material, name of the item. So it's going to be example, rusted iron short sword. And that's all going to be randomized as well. So we'll have a table with quality, quality table, material table, item table. Yep. So the quality would be like, what do I have on the other one? So the quality could be like, I'll give an example here. Quality could be rusted, broken, dull, sharp, normal, magical, stuff like this. And then the material would be copper, bronze, iron, gold. What are some materials, guys? I don't want to put too many in, but the basic stuff I'm talking about here. Steel with one, yeah, steel. Then we'll put something like what's the malachite, diamond, something like that. I don't know. Master crafted, a master crafted malachite dagger or something. I don't know. So you're gonna have a weapons. So weapons, armor. I think that's it. You're gonna have swords, daggers, pole arms, staves, staves, staves. I don't know. What other kind of weapons are there? Axes. A bow? Am I gonna have a bow? We'll put bows. Hammers. Maces. That's good for now. Armor will be same thing. So we'll have cloth. If I can type. Cloth, leather, mail, plate. I guess that's it. I could put scale mail in there if I wanted to be cool. This would be chain mail. Is that one word? I don't know. Chain mail, scale mail, studded mail, all these things. Then you would even go further. You would have, I don't know what kind of swords would be. Have a short sword, long sword. What's up, Ray? What's going on, Max? What's up? What's up? I'm doing the outline for a game that I'm creating in Godot 4 called Crest of the Moon. So I'm kind of just working through some of the areas that I'm going to need to complete from a coding perspective or UI. So I'm kind of breaking down the different areas that I need to do. I already started doing the code behind the scenes. So this is kind of like the main page that it's going to look like. Minus this, I just put this in just to, it's the latest sprite graphic that I made. But you'll have a storyline in the center here. You have inventory where you'll both slot gear in here. Oh, thanks. You have a backpack. You'll be able to click on that and open up a separate window. The monster card won't be there, obviously, in the beginning, but kind of just a placeholder to show you a monster card will come up if you experience an encounter. It's like a I call it a text-based fantasy adventure game with graphical elements. So there's a lot of graphics to it, but you can still do the typical Zork type commands here: north, open door. You'll be able to do some of that stuff too, if you want to, or you can use the interface, the UI. But I have a roll for initiative over here in the corner. So think D&D. So you roll for initiative. Whoever wins the initiative, this is what I was trying to test moments ago, but you roll for initiative, and then either you or the monster wins. This is kind of like just spitting out some dialogue here to kind of tell you where you are in the attack phase. This is just debug information, so I know myself this will be a little bit more less verbose. But you can see, all right, I won. I rolled the 11. The monster, what I'm fighting, rolled a 6. I got the initiative. Now notice that I can now use these buttons. Before they were grayed out. Same thing with the dice. They're grayed out until I'm told to use them. All of these dice work, so you can click the 20 dice. It'll roll 1 through 20, tell you what you rolled. If you're swinging with a hammer, maybe the hammer does 1d6. The 6 dice would open up, and you'd be able to roll that. But I can do attack. You see I did a normal attack. I hit. Armor class of the monster was 10. I hit it with an 11. And I kind of have the debug information down here, too, as I go along. So you can see I rolled a 8 damage. The mob, I took 2 damage for the damage out of an 8. I rolled a 2. You can see the mob got hit 2 damage. It started with 100. Now it's 98, which is kind of cool. You can see here too on the status bar, we put that in last night. You can see it actually is deducting from its health bar too. So that's kind of cool. Has the typical 3-bar system for health, mana, and stamina. The monsters are only going to have health and mana. And that's about it. So during your turn, you'll be able to go through, one of these other features here. Fleeing. You can see Defend 2 is where I started pulling in some random monsters just to test out reading my dictionary file. So that's kind of cool. Man, that looks great. Actually, I saw your tweet that you were on Godot, but I didn't know you were this far ahead. Yeah, I'm on day 11. This is day 11. I have, by the way, from my beginning, a playlist on YouTube. Hopefully you follow me on YouTube, but if you don't, I think, is it socials? Social? Okay, it's one of those damn commands. I have the same thing over on socials. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so on my YouTube, if you're not subscribing to me, my God, I don't know what the hell's going on. If you're not subscribed to me already, subscribing on YouTube is free. You just click the button. By all means, go over there. Take a second right now and definitely follow me over there. But you can see I published all of my actual content of me starting from the very beginning with nothing, and put all of my content out there for this game since day one. So it's pretty cool. So you'll be able to follow along if you want to do that. You'll be able to see my progress. But it's all out there. It's not behind any paywalls, not for subscribers or paid subscribers. You can go out there anytime you want and view this content. But yeah, I have 11. How many videos I got? Yeah, I have 11 videos. Because one of them I had a stream issue, so I had to restart my stream. So there's a part 1 and a part 2. How come I can't show like my view full playlist? Here we go. So there they are. This one after today will be up there. It's in full, so I'm not doing clips. It's full content. 5 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. And that's more for like me to go back historically if people are, Googling for it, whatever. So this typically doesn't follow. Normally you wouldn't have a full 5-hour video up there, but I'm doing it for archiving for my own purposes. So that's cool. Yeah, thanks for that. I downloaded Godot a few months ago to learn and haven't done anything yet. I haven't had any time for anything lately. Okay. Yeah, thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. As you know, I've been dabbling with different engines for a little while, but never really focused as heavily as I focused on this so far. I have experience with Unity. I have experience with Unreal Engine. The big difference is I fell in love with Python And I did 100 days of Python code. I'm really familiar with Python. And this language, GD script, which is native to Godot engine, is like 80% like Python. So moving from that to this was pretty easy. Syntax wise, it's still a matter of understanding the API and all that other stuff that comes with time. But it has built-in API libraries type stuff, so I can look up what's a string. I can look up a progress bar, and it has all this built into the tool too. So it's less that I have to go to Google or whatever to do it. So I kind of like that in built in. Yeah. So as you guys know, I did. If you pull up my ArtStation, go to artstation.com/Ray Gould, I think it is. You'll be able to see. I was big into 3D modeling too for that game, so I started like a fantasy game too in Godot. I'm sorry, in Unity, and you can see here these are all my Blender models. You helped me with several of this stuff too, working with different types of Blender models and the different types of textures and stuff. The one that looked like WoW with the cracks and everything. Yeah, yep. So here's some of my models that I created. It's pretty cool. It's cool to like start with like a primitive shape and then make it into something like this. Start with you're starting with like a rectangle, then you're shaping it, you're modifying, you're increasing planes and working with vertices and adding more primitives on top and working it. Then you add the textures to it, and it's friggin' amazing. And I'm like a newbie. I watch some on some people's streams and stuff what they produce like with 3D animated people. Like I never got to the modeling side of humanoids or monsters, but what people can do is freaking unbelievable. Of course, they do it for a profession, so they do it every single day. But it's really cool what people have experience with. All right, data management. We got that. Can I bold this, by the way? Yeah, okay. Let's bold some of this. Coding dictionary files. Okay. The UI. So we're gonna have. I think we have most of the UI done, but I do need to do. Again, I'm gonna keep this as a full list, whether I did it or not. So we have to have a opening scene with menu buttons. And then we have our character creation. Then we have character creation consists of selecting class, rolling stats, getting initial equipment, randomized by class, selecting name, and then what other graphics do I have? I guess the main scene. Main playing scene. Does this have a button? Looks like it's off one character, but no. Then we need to have a saving escape scene for interacting with game state. So you need a save game, load game, quit game. Cancel. Back to game. Something like that. But I think other for UI, I need to have a backpack inventory scene. I need to have a loot scene. What else? Thinking about the game. If I look at this main window again, what other scenes would I need? When I kill a monster, I'm going to get a loot window. I'll be able to click on the items in the loot window, double click and then go to my bag, or when you loot, I'll pop up the bag too. So you have bag and loot, and then you'll be able to drag stuff over, or double click to move it to your inventory, or take it from the loot, drag it into your inventory, or take it from the loot and slot it into your uh, equipped gear, vice versa, all those different combinations. I need to have something to show. I'm not sure if that's going to be a UI, but I do like the feature that when you hover your mouse over an item, it shows you the difference in stats compared to what's equipped and what's not. So, not sure if that would be a scene or not. Hover over on items to determine equipped versus new item stats. I don't think that would be a scene, but what else? Storyline, that's there. I got that scene. I got this scene. Thinking maybe a scene, maybe when you level up. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to mess with stats initially, but I think you would have to, right? Did you follow some specific tutorials to learn the basics? Actually, no. Strangely enough, I watch streamers every day consistently. There's, a gentleman named Bazing or Basti that streams every single morning. He's on German time, so he's plus 6 hours ahead of me. So by the time I log in or get up, and it's already early or late morning for him. But I watch him. Risey is another streamer. She's great with Godot. There's a few other folks that I'm watching, learning from. There are some YouTube tutorials out there, but like I said, I'm working in an engine, the latest engine, that there's not a lot of content for yet. So I can watch a video in 3 and kind of just see what's capable of the engine at that state, but not really follow along. He gets yelled at by chat. Yeah, Never Toxic's in here is helping me. He's been helping me all the way back to the Python days. We have a couple other folks that stop in the channel that's been helping me a lot. So it's kind of like I'm learning live with the community. The people are in the chat doing research and kind of just having this first project. And as I get to certain pieces of it, I learn how to do those pieces. I'm sure my next game is going to be a lot easier to be able to do. Is 4 out? It is out. It's not GA release. It's in beta. Yep. Yeah, beta 1. Yeah, I'm on beta 10. They just released beta 15 yesterday. So they're producing beta content out pretty fast, pretty rapidly. I think they're trying to get to the general release of Godot pretty quickly. I want to say we might see it within a month or something. I don't know if there's timelines. Don't quote me on that. But at the rate to what I'm doing and what I'm reading, they want to try to get to that release. But there's still some things that need to be fixed before it can go to that release. But yeah, completely free, downloadable on their site. I think it's for Windows and Mac. I think they have it for. But it's pretty cool. I always thought that it was pretty cool. And I watch people across all of the different engines too. I have a great friend of mine, Journey for the Crown. That's his name on Twitch. My buddy Scott that helped me a lot with the modeling when I was looking at Unity. He's been working on a game for a few years now. He has a demo out there. It's on Steam. I added it to a wish list, but it's like, man, I keep forgetting. Like a Bard's Tale. The hell's that other game? Shit, I never can remember. Yeah, I downloaded to make a 2D Rogue. Yeah, this is, I think, awesome for 2D. 2D right now, I think this is really great. They're adding a lot more stuff for 3D. Yeah, you should pick it back up. I know you're experienced with that. I also watch people with the Unreal Engine. So Unreal Engine 5 is absolutely incredible if you want like realistic type graphics and stuff. Unity and Unreal Engine 5 are crazy. I heard people aren't liking the direction of Unity, so I'm not sure. I haven't followed any of that content, so take it with a grain of salt. When I use Unity, it was pretty cool. When I use Unreal, it was pretty cool. Huge learning curves, though. I think Unreal's trying to tackle that, obviously, with the blueprinting or visual scripting. Unity kind of jumped on board with that as well. So if you know the language, it's going to be even more powerful to you. If not, you can create a full game without even knowing any code, pretty much. But in this game, I kind of like getting down to the code. It satisfies my need to, development. That craving sometimes that I like creating things. So this is where we stand right now. And this came a few iterations too. It was kind of plain before. It was very rudimentary. Like even some of this stuff is still pretty flat colored over here. So I'll eventually get to that where, like I did with the chains and the torches, I'll add different stuff. This probably will be changed. Right now, just placeholder. As I get to the part I feel like doing graphics, I'll keep increasing this. I did just add this silhouette over here. Very faint silhouette, kind of showing a body type where the gear slot is. So that's kind of cool because before I had the labels, I had like head as a text label, chest, and it was kind of, I didn't like it. I still don't know if I like this completely, but I'm kind of just letting it sit there for now. It might be a little too big, but I don't want to lose the size of actually seeing the image, but we'll see how that goes. For now, I think it's good enough. You could use that with boxes in their places. Yeah, they are actually boxes, like the head slot on top of the head. Yep. Yeah, you'll actually be able to slide. Those are just placeholders right now, but actually be able to. These are all like a class-based panel, if you will, all replicated inside of a vertical box, and I have it filling it automatically, so the justification's automatically done and stuff. But you'll be able to drag this axe out, and it would be this is the default background, the empty slot. But that's actually created from here, and that's another thing I learned that was kind of cool. Is this panel slots? Where's my slot? Right here. So I created this structure, or I mean, this scene, and I replicated the scene in the main scene. So if I wanted to change, let's say, the color of this background, I do it in this one place, and then it would replicate it automatically over here. It was kind of cool. I forget what the name of that's called. I think I said it right, but that's kind of cool. All right, let's bring this down a little bit. Let's go back over to here. Output. Yeah, and all these graphics too, I'm doing myself, which is I like that. I always like the graphical part of stuff too, so I'm happy that I can actually do something with the graphics. But I'm using Sprite this time, so here's the graphics that I'm working with. Here's me turning it into sprite sheets, and this is what I was trying to work with animation today. My first, working with animation, trying to make it kind of cool. I thought it looked kind of cool. Just taking out, drawing, and those are all different, pixels and stuff, and using the different tools over here, and kind of neat. So eventually, I'll need this skill set when I get into 2D, like a next game, if I have anything 2D related, like a person running across the screen, or a side scroller, or top down dungeon crawler, or something like that. I'll have to work on the pixels and animation and stuff like that too. But yeah, that's it. I'm writing the storyline myself, so that's kind of unique. This is like the beginning in here. I'm still trying to think about how I want to portray that to the player. Again, I don't want too much dialogue. I'm a person that when I play pretty much any game I play, if I come to dialogue, I'm escape, 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 escape. Can I skip it? I don't care about storyline. I don't care about lore. I want to go out and fight a orc or whatever I want to fight. But there are some people that want to know about storylines, so I'm making a pretty cool story for it. What I want to kind of do too is I want a concept where every time you play the game, it's different. So there'll be like the general plot that, but there could be 5 scenarios that you go through on this day and then 2 on the next that makes the game a little bit dynamic. And then eventually you'll come to a major plot that would kind of be the same. Then it could be a bunch of randomness, and then you get to the next plot and a bunch of randomness. I like how I'll show you the randomness. But that's the thought. So every time you come in, and you can play it a couple times, and it's going to be different every single time. That's a sophisticated way of portraying it. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I mean, I learned about scenes. I learned about the different types of objects over here with the UI. It was pretty easy over time learning it. Like if I went back to, I remember when I first started blank canvas, or I mean a blank scene, and it took me the longest time just to figure out how to add a label to a button. Because there's a couple different types of things. I think I added a texture label, and I couldn't find the text field where I could have just dragged in a regular button and named it over here in the properties. But yeah, it was like the funniest thing ever. So the YouTube stuff, shows all of that, which is kind of neat. I'll go back and watch it over time to say, all right, I remember how I did this. But that's it. Behind the scenes, it looks almost like Python. I'm trying to code it in a way where it's functional by specific purpose. So you'll see here, like in the combat section, like if I go to my combat script, you'll see up here I have a roll initiative function, and that's all it does. It just rolls initiative and returns the value and what were the rolls from the player and the monster. Doesn't do any calculations, doesn't do anything. So I'm trying to keep my function single purpose like this. So armor class check, tell me who the armor class, what the armor class is I should be rolling against, and then it just rolls the dice from my dice class over here. Rolls the dice, tells you whether you hit or miss and what the roll was. That's it. So same thing up here. This dice class that I wrote, I can now pass in any number of dice. So it's not just always 1D, whatever. I can pass in, I want to roll 3D5, or I'm sorry, 3D6. And it would roll those independently with the dice that I'm passing in. So how many times do I want to roll the dice? What the dice type or dice side it is? Is it 4, 6, 8? Whatever. I can make up a third. I can make up anything I wanted to for the dice type. For the stats, I kind of did the same thing. So if I'm rolling stats, which you only really roll once during character creation, I'm telling it specifically which one to add a modifier for. So you can see here, if it's a fighter, strength is the main attribute. We're going to be modifiers +1, intelligence for wizard, wisdom, dex, and it does all the calculation and returns the value back. Very, very cool. Very cool. The game manager, this is where the game manager is going to be handling the scene changes. Or anytime a scene needs to go to another change, I need to look at the equipment page or whatever. It sends the message here, and this knows based upon this case statement, almost like a case statement, but what you need to do. If it's this, it's going here. If it's a new character, it's going there. So it's kind of a little bit more organized. And this is setting a placeholder for the data manager as we work with the different functions for the buttons. So load, saving, and whatever. There's the monster one. New character, making it very simple. Player model this is where everything that is going to be known about what makes up a player and a class. So I'll be able to call these specifically without doing any additional, functionality. I'll be able to call the class and say, all right, give me the player health, and it'll tell me what the health is, the current health, all the stats that are associated with it, including the gear. And this gets into helping me save that content too, making it easier. Monsters, that's just handling that. These are handling the functions, the stats when they press certain buttons. This is doing the stat rolls. Message handler, actions on the main page. Equipment. Same thing, equipment model. What is the properties of equipment that I'm going to get? That's going to have a name. It's going to have a type. The type's going to be either as weapon or armor, as an enum, base damage, armor class. Is it related to what slot? Texture for thumbnails. So pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. I'm impressed with how far I've come so far. And this is like the beginning. If I started from the beginning, here's like the main page. Obviously, these don't work. This just quits the game. So there's functionality behind this. These two are in progress, and this is the new game. This is where you start and you pick one of 4 basic classes. The stat below is what you'll get a bonus on when you roll the stats in the next page. So let's say I'll do a fighter. Here's your stats page. So it's going to automatically remember your fighter class. You're going to do the roll stats button here. And as you can see, I can roll it as many times as I want. And it's going to roll 3 series of stats across these stats over here. So 3 columns. And keep rolling it. Let's say I can get a 18 or something. Or 19 if I'm lucky to roll. All right, here's a 19, right? That's because it's rolled an 18 and plus some fighter, so I get +1, 19. And then let's say I want to pick these as stats. So I have 0 here. I can select this column, gives me the stats, and I can lock in those stats. Or if I made a mistake, and let's say I picked this one, before I lock it in, I can still change between these rolled stats. All right. Oh, I didn't want 18. I didn't see the 19. So I'm going to do 19. Once I lock it in, then I can't do anything. Those are my stats to start with. That's a pretty funny. So I have a 19 strength, and I'm weak as fuck with a 7 constitution. That's funny. But anyway, you do continue. I can name the guy. I always do Glod Iron Fist. Then it's going to come to the starting equipment page. This is going to show random equipment, starting equipment applicable to what you can use in the beginning. So you'll have a randomized weapon, and the graphic will change based upon that weapon type, as well as the label down here. It won't say starting weapon. It'll say, like we talked about before, rusted short sword or something, rusted iron sword. Or this will change as well based on what the starting gear you get, and the supply could be. Here it's showing a potion. It could be a bandage. It could be food or whatever. Once you continue, those items will go into your inventory or probably right into your equipped slots. And then it brings you into the starting page. So here's your initial dialogue, all the stuff that I wrote so far. Again, this is just placeholder. This would probably either come in with the pause button or whatever I want to do to introduce that. Your gear will be based upon what you just randomly rolled. There's your name, there's your class, there's your level. Armor class will eventually be a tally of what you have equipped. And that's it. So these will become active as you face certain parts of the game. So let's say you're going here and you say, okay, you encounter a door or whatever. What do you want to do? Open the door. Okay, you open the door, and now the text is going to say you see a bone skeleton across from you. What do you want to do? And you can say engage combat or whatever. Okay, roll for initiative. And somewhere I want to kind of make the buttons become more prominent, where you're saying, okay, roll for initiative, and this might blink, or there'd be a green thing around it. So it's a little bit, I'm driving the eye down to that corner. Even though I'm going to say it, I could say, okay, roll for initiative. You roll. I missed. The monster hit first. And so forth. Then you keep going back and forth. At that point, if the monster hit me first, then these would open up and say, okay, what do I want to do for attack? You can see now I can attack. Okay, bam, I hit the thing for 8 damage. Then you keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm going to make a monster AI to be able to handle the logic on what the monster does. So the monster will continuously attack until, let's say, it gets to a flea level. It gets down to, I would say 5%, 10% of its max health. Then it would attempt to flee based upon a certain percentage. It would roll if it's above that percentage, then it successfully flees. And then maybe I would roll against your dexterity to say, okay, If you have a high enough dex roll, maybe you can get your last attack in while it's turning its back and running away from you. Otherwise, it successfully flees, combat ends, and we go into whatever happens next. So that's that. I do already have in place critical, a natural 20. So a natural 20 is double damage. And I also have a critical failure, which is a natural 1, which I'll have something interesting to happen. You drop your sword, or the monster stumbles, or something will happen to you if you roll a 20, if you roll a 1. Yeah, thanks. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun just thinking of things and going along. But I got to the certain point now where I'm like, okay, I want to focus on combat. Okay, what do I still need to do on combat? And instead of going looking at code, I was looking at code and saying, okay, what part of combat do I need to finish next? And I was basically using my comments to say, okay, I still need to do defend. Let's start on that. I'm like, all right, let's take a step back and let's start thinking about and writing down what I need to do. So when I'm done with it, I can just go, okay, I'm done with this part, or I'm done with this part. You know what I mean? I could still jump around, like, all right, today I'll work on combat. Tomorrow I'm going to work on data management. But at least I know tick, 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 task to task, to do, what I need to finish to get the game from beginning to end. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to keep wishy-washing through the game, and it'll probably never end. So that's what I was going to do tonight. So I just started doing that. I only stream a couple hours during the day. I mean, during the night, because I work pretty early in the morning. So if you catch me during the day stream, if I do stream, it's around this time, 7 o'clock Eastern time on the US. And I only stream until 9:30, 10 o'clock. So, yo, Sir Q, what's up, man? Long time no see. What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? Working hard? You're retired? More time off? Injured? What's going on? What are you playing? I still have 25 years to go. Yeah. Probably me too. Injured, definitely dealing with some health issues. Not good. Doctors are finally figuring out what's wrong with my foot. That's not cool, man. Your feet are super important. This guy is 25 years ago. I don't even have 25 years done. You're that young, Max? What are you, like 21, 22 now? 18, 19? Man. Some of these people, man. Super young. Super young. Not even 25 years old. Damn, my job is 30 to 60. My job is 30 to 60. What does that mean? Oh, I know you're 35. I was talking to Max there. Oh, Max is 35. Okay. Oh, you don't have, okay. Toxic's not even 25 years old yet. Nice. My son's 25. My daughter's 24. 23, going to be 24. 30 years of service, 60 years of age in order to retire. Damn. Yep. 30 years of service. Is that because do they give like pensions and stuff? Is that what you mean by 30 years of service? if the company survives 30 years. That's sometimes rare today too, with everything that's happening. Retirement age for me to be determined. Yeah. We will work. We work till 67 here or some shit. I work in a railroad. The shit is not going anywhere. That's true. We're so heavily dependent on transportation like that, and even truckers aren't going anywhere. So I get my union pension and many company pensions and a spouse pension, which is 50% of my pension. Really? You got to get a spouse fast. You're married, children, pick a fence, dog. Can still change when I'm like 60. It's currently already near 70. Yeah. I think that went up ours too. I think the earliest you can retire in the US anyway, I think is what, 55? And then I think you take a hit. You don't get 100% of, I don't know, is it Social Security or something? That stuff's not even going to be around when retirement comes around in 20 years. Same, yeah. Not that I care. I'm working on retirement from the state. I'm making my own retirement. I stop working when I think I'm good. Yeah, that's true. I mean, retirement has nothing to do with age. It has to do with how much money do you need to live the rest of your life based upon a certain lifestyle you want to live, right? People retire, I'm sure, every day, and they're not 65 or 70, and then people don't retire and they're 65 or 70 and still working. So I need to be married before I retire, of course, to get the spouse pension. There you go. There you go. Marry someone, get some sugar, then hopefully you stay married. So I have a friend of mine that retired, and wife cheated on him. He retired, and she took percentage of the pension. That's fucking horrible. That could happen too. Just a heads up. You're gonna need a lot of money to retire early. Hell yeah. Once I sell this game, I'm probably gonna retire on a beach somewhere. Huh? Not really. I always say this as an example. Imagine if I got $1 every time someone downloaded Ludapraise or my add-on for World of Warcraft. I would definitely be retired. You just need one of those male brides. That's right, Max. Yeah. You have to keep in mind medical costs too when you're older. Yeah. Medical costs, all that stuff's expensive today. I never understand why things are so expensive. Yeah, I don't get it. Thank God I have insurance. I have really good insurance, but the stuff that you see in the bill, your insurance covered this amount. And you're like, what the like what is it made of gold or something? Especially like prescriptions and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, what they made this stuff from like a chemical or in some pharmacy they're producing billions of these pills, and you're like, it costs that much? A racket. Even vitamins, try to get a good quality vitamin, unless you're buying like $20 Mr. Flintstone or whatever like that. But get a good quality vitamin. It's going to cost you 40, 50, $60. And the stuff's just crushed up pieces of this and that and some filler and your neighbor's, grass or whatever the hell it is, wrapped up in a pretty bottle with organic on it and 100% vitamin C label on it and all shininess, and they charge, $50 for it. Yeah, it's always crazy to me. Some from the EU I go to the hospital and get out after 10 tests and 2 x-rays and paid like 15 euro. Yeah, that's really good. All right, so heal function. What are the functions are there with heals? We're going to randomize the heal range by item type. There's right now I have 3 types of heals: bandage, health potion, and a spell. We're going to adjust the stat bars. I think that's it. So flee. Roll for attempt to flee based upon dex. D20. Percentage flee for monsters at 5 or 10% health. Percentage of player or monster last hit to fleer. Flee. How do you spell fleer? Flee. Is it? That's. I guess it's probably not a word. Fleer. I'll just put that there. Percentage of player or monster last hit to fleer based upon dex. D20. Successful flee. Failed flee. Insurance plan is probably the term for it in English. Yeah. Depends on a bit of the country and you plan to take in the EU too. I think here in the States, I think, I think Canada. Doesn't Canada have free healthcare? Something like that. I don't know how good their healthcare is, but. Yo, Adam, hell yeah. What's up, brother? What's up? What's up? Roll verse defend. I don't even know if I need a defend button. Roll verse defend, which allows extra blocking. Provides limited ability to heal. Increases AC by X% to hit. Wanted to pop in for a few, not really streaming anything, just trying to see what more commands work on live bot. Cool. Check this out. Are you live? Watch this over here. Live, the Adam, named Adam. Not sure if you're live or not. This only works if someone's live, but check that command out. Yo, what's up? Oh, look at that. Check this out. Follow wedge. I can't follow myself, but followers. I can say roll. What's the roll? 120? Is that how we did it? Oh, okay. Roll, and it's just rolling the dice. Roll 20. Hell yeah, look at that. Look at all those commands coming in there. I also have the copper or the points system. Insurance here is, I don't have any. Insurance here is only if I want to go to the private practices and not pay less. Yep, medical insurance is mandatory here, at least basic plan. I think it's here too. You have a choice of what you want to pick. The price increased by 50% this year too. We went from 100 a month to 150 a month. Yeah, I think our copay is what you pay at the time of your office visit, your doctor visit, before your insurance gets billed. So ours always changes. It used to be $20. It used to be, $25, depending on who you're seeing. If you're seeing a specialist, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes no copay if it's 100% covered. You go to a dentist, you get your 6-month cleaning or whatever. If you have that plan, you get your teeth cleaned 2 times a year for nothing out of pocket. It's a scam. It's a freaking scam. All right, we got the flee. We got the defend. Ooh, shit. What did I do? Defend. Death. What's going to happen on death? Monster. Player. Monster dies. Loot is rolled. XP delivered. Player. When a player dies, XP decrease. Should I decrease the XP by percentage based upon total number of deaths? Returned to last saved game point prompted. I'm lucky enough to not have the problem, but a large part of the population wouldn't eat if they needed to pay for that. That's true. Depends on the economy, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of folks don't understand the amount of expensive medical today, especially I'm only talking in the US for anything, whether it's a visit to the doctor, whether it's a specialist, whether you have to go through normal testing, whether you're on prescribed medication to survive. Man, it's crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure I'm going to have to keep going back to this, but this is kind of cool. So we got the combat. Those are the main buttons. We got the player. I still don't have anything for the player. I'm trying to think from a player perspective. I guess player model. Player model. Main attributes. Make up a player. I'm sure price of food, housing, slower where you live. Where I live, it's expensive. I think that's really expensive. The cost of stuff like that is really expensive. Like, what's the typical, like, does someone own a house? I'm not sure which countries you guys are from, but it really depends on not only the state you live in the United States, but which town you live in or city you live in. Like, comparing my mortgage or rents here where I live to living in New York City is a whole different beast. Lower in the sense of the number being lower, but the wage is also lower. So in the percentage, yeah, it's all relative. Yeah. Although the country is massively overpopulated, isn't building any new houses. I live in Luxembourg and Luxembourg in Germany, and I paid less there than I want to see people paying here. And those are very rich countries in comparison. Yeah, in cities it's more expensive here, but also big higher. Yeah, it's relative. So if you work in the city, live in the city, it's gonna even out as if you lived in the country and you commuted to work and you live on a farm or something. I don't know. But overall, it's the cost of living is going up. That's why companies tried to give cost of living raises. I don't know. Just the bald guy in the struggle, man. Monster model. What attributes makes up a monster? I think I already have this, but we'll list them out. Name, class, level, experience, etc. I'll put all those in there. Same thing here would be name, monster type. I don't think I need experience, but experience, base damage, blah, 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 loot type, etc. 930. This takes a while, huh? This freaking takes a while. This is cool though, because I can break down that stuff. UI, data management, loot, experience, resource link, storyline, combat, player. Okay, so we got something in everything. All right. Cool. Okay. Maybe tomorrow I'll probably start picking up again on the combat. I'll probably start working that out. I want to be able to know when I can call the initial part of this game done. You know what I mean? So I might start saving. I might start working on the data tables because I need to be able to. I need to be able to pull these monster stats, and I can use these basic stats here with the loot type. So when I fight an encounter, I know I'm now fighting a zombie, and its armor class is 4. Where if I fought a rat, it's 10 and it's 4 here. Then I can get that part going, so I can pull in these values. Then I can pull in the loot type, and then pull something random from the loot type. So that's functionalities there. I'll expand these tables. The first round of the game will probably have 100, 200 types of monsters. Some unique, some, like I said, typical you'd see in a fantasy game. So I can do that. And then I also need to, I think the model part is done in regards to what the player stats are going to be that I'm going to be saving. I already have a friend of mine actually wrote an example project of how to save game and load game data, so file data. So I'm going to be looking at that and putting that in, coding that and putting it in my game. Yeah, that way when we go to the main screen, then these, I can rotate the image. Again, I'll probably work on some graphics to have, based on what I have for monsters here. I'll put in like some basic text or something. So I know, okay, when the monster card is a zombie, the monster name is going to say zombie. It's going to load a zombie image. And it doesn't have to be the final graphic, but I can just put something here temporarily like zombie. And then the stats, make sure that that's working. And then that only shows when you're in an encounter, work on the storyline when it comes up, work on the prompting. Save the game, load the game. Never mind installing. I don't even know how the packaging and stuff works on installing this. I'll get to that one when it needs to be. However, even a small house in the town you're going to live has to pay more than 10 years. Pay a lot more than 10 years ago. Yeah, absolutely. That will never go backwards. I don't know how popular container houses are in other countries. I'm noticing them more often here, and even that you're going to have to pay 600 to 1,000 euros a month, depending on your luck. Yeah. When you say container houses, what does that mean? You like you talking those metal storage containers or something? The small houses, or are you talking condos? Or I think that's kind of cool where people are turning the metal storage units, those big trailer type units, into houses. That's kind of neat. Yeah, shipping container. That's kind of cool. I guess you don't have to worry about inclement weather on that, right? Yeah. I have a friend who builds houses, and he actually put one of those together, and they were stacked on top of each other. So it was like you'd have a long one here, then you have the next one to be overlapping a little way this way, and the other one was going this way. It was kind of neat. It was kind of neat. Yeah, it's a garage during the summer. Some of those are pretty cool. The small homes, the mini homes, or whatever. Or now with 3D printing, you see people, big companies now are using 3D printers on a large scale that are pouring concrete and making houses. Look that stuff up. Those are all badass commands, bro. I had to go get the door real quick on a BRB later on. All right, you got it. You got it. Also, good luck fitting your desktop setup in it. Yeah. Yeah, this will take a little bit. This will take a little bit. That's something I wanted to do too. Is I wanted to look at systems too. I posted that in my tweet. Look at some systems on what I want to purchase. I'm gonna buy. I think I'm gonna buy it from Cyber Power. Cyber Power PC. A couple of folks that I know bought from here, and they're pretty happy with it. So I'm gaming. I'm gonna buy a 4090 system. So it's gonna be something like this. 4090 i9 30. You know, it's a supercomputer. 24 gigabyte graphics card. I can't imagine that. I have a 1080 right now. I pretty much can run anything I have so far. I'll probably turn this one into. I know some people like dual streaming, but I think this would be a good system to dual stream on, where I would game on my new one, send the signal to the. I'm looking up because it's hanging on my wall. But it'll be something. It's going to be like this. I'll probably just buy this, and then from my wife, she needs a new system. I'm probably going to buy another something along this range. Yeah, 4070, 12 gig. Man, that's plenty for what she uses. Should last me a while. 1,050-watt power supply. Holy hell. I'm going to have to put central air conditioning in my room. Storage, I don't care about. I think it comes with, basic keyboard and mouse. I don't care about any of the fancy stuff, but I think that looks kind of neat. You can change the case and stuff. I don't really care what the case looks like as long as it runs, it's fast. Look at that stuff. Holy shit. Fancy. Looks like it's liquid cooled. That's a lot of colors, and good luck fitting your desktop into that. Not going to need heating for winters. Yeah, no kidding. My current computer, I guess I'm in like a 10 by 10 room. So my room that I'm in is not too big. Half of the room is this. I have kind of like a custom desk I built that's a U shape. So it goes like that. And my main computer, and I have two sides over here. There's really nothing on here except for like pictures and stuff. This is my work side. I have a 55-inch monitor, or smart TV that I use for my main monitor. I have two 17-inch monitors on the side, and then my laptop. That's all my workspace on this side, and then I game on this side. It gets hot. I had to put two more fans on my computer just to blow the heat, because it's sitting on the wall. Not a smart decision, but it's sitting on my wall, so heat rises. So I was actually getting temperature issues with my PC, and I had an additional video card in there that I wasn't using, but it was so close to my one that I was, and the fan on my 1080 was blowing this way, and it was hitting the other card that was off, so it was bouncing the heat back, and it was overheating my system on the GPU side, causing my computer to shut down. So I had to take that card out, add an additional fans. Now I have like three fans at the top and three on the side, blowing the hair up out of it and then this way. And then I have they're pretty cool fans, and I have a dial that I can increase the RPM of the fans, so I can make it really blow air or just a little bit or on both sides. So that's kind of cool. But that's that. But anyway, this is what's gonna happen. Windows 11 Home. I don't know why they don't get professional, but worried about the electricity bill. I have solar. Solar powered. My typical electricity bill is about $10. Uh, all right. I think that's what I wanted to do tonight. I'm far away from where I want to go. Yeah. I think solar was I think now it's pretty profitable for the consumer if you have good coverage and the rates don't go up, depending on you can buy as big as the solar panel system as you want. You can buy backup units, you can buy storage. There's tons of offers now for doing. I have a 42 panel system on my roof. Most of my, I think 85, 90% of my coverage comes from solar. Whatever I don't use goes directly back to the grid. I get credits for it off of my electricity bill. Obviously, you produce more in the summer and less in the winter, so the credits kind of roll back and forth to paying for that. Yeah, I know some people that just have a couple panels solar because maybe they're just doing like outside or something like that. They're powering some small place outside or an outdoor gazebo or something like that where people, man, it's kind of cool. All right, I think that's it, guys. I kind of wanted to get through this to start it. I'll probably, continue as I think about things, get through this. But the whole point was to, instead of just jumping through things and not being organized, I kind of want to get organized so I can get through this game and get something done. So now I can at least say, like, if I go to the UI side, I could say, all right, selecting class is done, character creation is done, rolling stats is done. Still need to do that. Selecting name is done. Quit is done. Main scene is done. Opening scene is done. You know what I mean? Ray was trying to work and then I came in. No, I think I got through what I wanted, and it's good to have great conversations as well on topics that are important on the minds of people today of all ages. I did have the escape key working too, so that's kind of cool. So if you come in here and you're on this scene, it's kind of just a generic it now, but if you hit escape, you can see you do have the ability to interact with these buttons. None of them work yet, but I got to that point and then stopped. You can kind of see it does change and overlay. I'll probably make it a little bit darker so it's less transparent, but that is in place too. I'm trying to think of all the concepts as I get to certain points in the game. I think of, okay, I need to make sure that I do this. So that's kind of neat. Indie game hit on Steam. I need to go get some free time and we'll try to make a game together. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. What's kind of cool is I'm thinking of this game. And again, this is going to be my first game, but I'm already thinking of, it'd be cool to make a side scroller or a dungeon crawler. I was playing Pitfall the other day on one of the retro sites. You can go online and it has like pretty much every game you can think of from the past. And you can type in the name. So I was playing the original Pitfall on screen. I thought that was cool. But not to emulate something like that, but just to say, I'm looking forward to, continuing to make content with Godot. And I'm at the beginning, so I'm at the part of a new engine, so that's kind of cool. All right, guys, I think I'm done. I think we only have a few people in here, so probably not going to raid. I would like to raid with at least 5 to 10 plus. I don't think anything. I think I just have just 5 people. So I think we'll leave that at that. Let me see on the other side. If you're not following me yet and you don't mind, I always say whether you watch me on this platform or not, kick.com/profits TV. Go out there and reserve your name. You never know. I always say reserve your name on every platform possible. But kick.com, kick.com/profits TV. Make an account over there. Toss me a follow over there, and you never have to go and watch me again. I'll always be on Twitch too, so you don't have to worry about it. But I would appreciate a follow over there if you can. And on that side, I'm going to see if there's anyone else streaming now. And if there is, I will toss them my 8 viewers. Oh, I do have someone over there. That's cool. I'm going to go... I'm not sure. You can't raid someone. You can't host someone unless they're following you, I think. Well, let me see. I'm not sure if I can do this or not, but let me see if I can do this. Host. Next. Oh, I can. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go to my end screen, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night, or if you're in the EU, you're probably already into the wee earlies of the morning, like Toxic is, the person who never sleeps. Enjoy your Fridays. I'll be in your streams probably Friday, watching you guys. If not, I'll see you tomorrow night as well. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace out.